The drama keeps getting more real surrounding Bayonetta 3 and Helena Taylor, voice actress for Bayonetta originally. And if you guys don't know what's going on with that, boy, do I have a video for you today. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So last week-ish, Helena Taylor here made this tweet with 3 videos. And she's basically talking about, hey, I am a voice actress. I have this much training, and this is what they offer me for Bayonetta 3. You need to boycott it. Let me just play it for the uninformed.
3 years at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, LAMDA, with voice coach Barbara Barkery.
Okay.
And 4.5 years with the legendary Larry Moss in Los Angeles. And what did they think this was worth? What did they offer to pay me? The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US. This is an insult to me. The amount of time that I took to work on my talent and everything that I have given to this game and to the fans. I am asking the fans to boycott this game.
Okay, so she says she's asking people to boycott this game, blah, blah, blah. She goes a little bit more into some details on part 2 and part 3 here. But yeah, this happened. It blew up. She got a ton of support. A lot of people saying they weren't going to buy the game, and so on and so forth. And I actually had people asking me to make video on this back then, and I didn't do it because I had other stuff that I was like preoccupied with in terms of content, but also because I don't know the story. I just have a hard time formulating a really strong opinion on something when I only have one side of the story. And that's the thing is Twitter especially will try to, they love theatrics, they love to cause drama, people do, and it's so easy to just latch on to something when you only see one side of the story and just like go into activist mode, you know what I mean? And so with that kind of stuff, there's been times where I have fallen for things on the internet where people have come forward, and whether they're talking about a person or a company or whatever it may be, there's been times where I just, immediate emotional reaction. Oh, that poor person. And then you find out the full story later and you're like, wait a minute, that person was actually wrong. So because of that, I don't like to jump to conclusions. I also don't think Twitter is the place to be airing these kind of grievances. But even so, my opinion on this has been, hey, they offered her a rate to do a role. She didn't like the rate. She declined the rate. That's what more is there to it? Like, this shouldn't even be a thing. You shouldn't be calling for boycott. This is business. So she's allowed to ask for a higher rate if she thinks she deserves it. She is completely entitled to that. But to call for boycott because the company didn't pay you what you wanted, like, girl, I can't even tell you how many times I've turned down stuff because I didn't like the rate for it, whether it be a sponsored thing or jobs in the past that I've worked. It's like, if you don't like the rate and you feel like you deserve more, just move on with your life and don't take it. I'm not gonna call out all these things that it's just ridiculous. So anyway, a bunch of the woke cancel mob especially ran to her support at first, but then, wrong thing happened. And here's a tweet where this person says, Helena Taylor supports Blue Lives Matter, transphobes, $1 million scamming preachers, time to slap that pre-order back on. Okay, so then they shared this tweet where Helena Taylor said, tears and proud, God bless America. Here's where she is supporting cops. And then she followed this person who I have no idea who she is. So I don't know what they think is dramatic about that. And then she liked a tweet from Joel Osteen. So wrong thing happened. It's like their activism. Notice how woke people, they want to be like activists all the time, but their activism stops if the politics aren't the same. So they care more about that. So anyway, here you have this, which I thought was funny. Activism for voice actress leaving my body when I learned she had different politics from mine. And then someone here said, replace voice actress with anyone and it still fits. And it's true. Like, this is just the motto for the cancel crowd, for the wokies, is it's like their activism begins if the politics are there. And if the politics are different than theirs, then that's where their activism ends. For me, I don't give a crap. Like, yeah, I like to show support to the good cops, you know. I love my country. God bless America. I like that. I'm a Christian. I may not be a fan of Joel Osteen in particular, but regardless, okay. And like I said, I don't know who this person is, so I can't comment on that exactly. But, hey, you know, here's a situation where, you know, I may align with some things that Helena does, but the difference here is I don't let that determine my opinion on this specific case at hand. And my opinion on this specific case at hand still is that, you know, she should not have been calling for boycott. It looks like she's, what she describes more in later videos here is it looks like, okay, she's in a financial problem time. She's not doing that well financially. She's not getting the work that she wants, that she didn't think that they paid her enough. And because of that, I don't know, this is almost like an act of desperation, but what she ended up doing was probably shooting her career in the foot, because she is a liability at this point. Who's going to hire somebody who literally called for boycott for a company, a big company that she'd already voice for? It wouldn't work. It wouldn't make sense. But anyway, the tea continues here as Jason Schreier made this tweet, and he said, former Bayonetta voice actor Helena Taylor now confirms my reporting that she was offered at least $15,000 and that the final offer was for a cameo, despite the claims in a video that went viral last week. And so here Helena kind of expands on things. She said, as I posted on a part 3 of my video thread, I explained that their first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000 total. Remember, this is $450 million franchise, not counting merchandise. I then wrote in Japanese to Hideki Kamiya asking for what I was worth. I thought that as a creative, he would understand. He replied saying how much he valued my contribution to the game and how much the fans wanted me to voice the game. I was then offered an extra $5,000. So I declined to voice the game. I then heard nothing from them for 11 months. They then offered me a flat fee to voice some lines for $4,000. Any other lies, such as $4,000 for 5 sessions, are total fabrications. Well, she's already caught in a lie here, and she's caught herself in a lie with this whole story, because she said in the original video, which, I mean, all the receipts are right here. I'm not gonna play every single one of them because that would be like a long video, but you can watch them for yourselves. That's not consistent. It doesn't match. She did lie, because she said very clearly that I already played earlier. They offered me $4,000 for the entire game. The entire game, she said. And right here, she's saying a cameo. They offered me a flat fee to voice some lines for $4,000. Okay? And what she says in her third video here, that I listened to earlier.
Oh dear. So I thought, great, thank God. That was when they offered me $4,000.
She just said this. Now, this video is in reference to when she messaged Hideki. Okay? So that was after she messaged Hideki in Japanese. And she just said, that's when they offered me $4,000. Well, right here, she says after she messaged Hideki, that they then offered her an extra $5,000 on top of the $10,000, which would have been $15,000. So clearly, this is a fabrication. It's a lie. You know, the way that she worded it was a little bit vague in some areas. So one can say it's a more fudging of the truth, more of a manipulation than a completely made up story. But definitely, she did lie. So I really don't know what more to add from that, but I think this is a good lesson for everybody to realize that you don't just, if somebody posts some drama on the internet or somebody's trying to get somebody canceled or a business canceled or anything like that, do your own research and don't be so quick to fall for stuff. Like, this is just ridiculous that people are taking these kind of issues to Twitter. It's just ridiculous. And to try to act like this is some big noble cause. Oh, I'm doing this in solidarity. She says, I'm doing this in solidarity for underpaid people, because there are people at the top who make all the money while everybody else on the bottom isn't making that much at all, and where they're just fighting for table scraps. Look at nurses, look at this and that. And she goes on this big rant about all of that. But she's comparing herself to like a nurse, her job to a nurse too, which is, come on, girl. So here's the thing for me is it's just like, just no. Don't so easily, we can't easily fall for stuff here. And we also shouldn't be basing our opinions on somebody based on if we align with them on politics, religion, anything like that. Just because you agree with somebody on life, on a lot of life, social situations, should not interfere with your opinions on whatever the specific situation at hand is. So this is where we're at. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video today. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.